This game is overrated. Overrated. This game came out in 2009 for the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3 with an exclusive challenge map to play as the Joker on the PlayStation 3. But then was added for the Game of the Year edition, which is, this right here. Somebody's texting me, I think. Nope, that's PlayStation. Okay. But anyways, so yeah. Then it was remastered and updated graphics and stuff like that for the PS4 and the Xbox One. And I'm being honest with you, the graphics are butt. At least on Arkham City they are. So yeah, and I'll review Arkham City when I get done with that. But yeah, Batman Arkham Asylum is a video game that came out in 2009. Already just labeled the consoles, and it was developed by Rocksteady. I think it's Rocksteady Studios or Rocksteady Games. Don't know, don't care. That's completely irrelevant. The game goes over Batman mythos, essentially, kind of. It only features like 6 villains, which is pretty good. It's a pretty good amount of villains. It features the Joker, Harley Quinn, Bane, Poison Ivy, Scarecrow, and Killer Croc. So it does have a pretty good villains roster and a bunch of references to a bunch of other villains that are super well known, like the Penguin and Two-Face, and like really obscure like Calendar Man and Prometheus. So yeah, the whole story basically goes on about the Joker getting captured, thrown into Arkham Asylum, and then he escapes and takes over Arkham Asylum, and he has this plan to release this thing called Titan and infect all of Gotham with it. I'm pretty sure that's what it was, to taint the water supply or something like that. But not Gotham, Titan, like how Bane has Venom and his Venom is like super steroids. Imagine a super version of super steroids. That's pretty much what it was. And throughout the game, you see that the formula is getting closer and closer to perfection. Because like from the first boss fight, where you fight a random thug who was injected with Titan, and you just walking around pretty much, wait until he has a heart attack, up until the final boss fight of that being the Joker, who was infected, who injected himself with a Titan serum. You see that there's a gradual progression within this. So that's a pretty good piece of detail. But yeah, this whole thing is Batman trapped on Arkham Island. You have different areas of the island. Yeah, I get it. Arkham Island isn't really that much of a marketable name, so they went with Arkham Asylum because it gives off that horror aesthetic. You know, So yeah, but the whole thing is based on feeling like you're the Batman, where you're defeating like 12 people at the same time, in just regular old hand-to-hand combat, or you're going up onto gargoyles and capturing, you know, taking out the criminals with guns and stuff like that. So it does have a decent story, you know. Let me spit this gum out or swallow it. I don't know. Now you might be wondering what I mean by this game is overrated. I will tell you this. If this is your first game in the Arkham series, then you'll think it's a great game. But if you play the other games and you go back to it, then you realize that it's not that great of a game. Now, in terms of regular gaming standards, it's pretty good. But compared to the other Arkham games, City, Origins, and Night, I personally think this is the worst one. This game is carried heavily by its atmosphere, the feeling that you get, the feeling of fear, the feeling of horror, the feeling of just dread and insanity of being in an asylum, being in a tight enclosed space. The combat, I will say, is pretty janky too. It's not as fluid, and I'm not expecting it to be super fluid like how Arkham Origins or Arkham Knight is, because even Arkham City has pretty janky combat, but it's still, you know, it's pretty much in its infancy. So I'm not, well, actually, no, I am going to hold it against that. Yes, it is pretty clunky at times, where it's pretty difficult to try to defeat thugs. The mechanics with like specifically the thugs with weapons, like like the guns, okay fine, you deal with that pretty easily. But compared to like the other games, like specifically like knife characters, the knife characters in this game act how the shield characters would act. No, the characters with armor in the other games would act, where they just block every move you have, and you have to like use your cape and stun them, and then beat them up over it. So yeah, but as I said though, the combat is just a little clunky. There are times where I have trouble taking down taking down thugs, and countering their moves because Batman kind of reacts a little slow at times. He just kind of reacts a little slow at times. One thing I can appreciate about this game, as I said, is the atmosphere. One character that I have to bring to the stand in terms of highlights of how good this game is and how well this game is well perceived is Scarecrow. Because Scarecrow injects you with fear toxin multiple times throughout the game. And there you learn a couple of Batman's specific fears. Batman's biggest fear at this point is him being labeled as insane as the villains that he fights. There's a whole point where the game crashes and you restart at the beginning of the game, and you find out that everything is like reversed, where Batman is the one being captured and taken to Arkham Asylum, and the Joker's driving the Batmobile, and all of the inmates are running the asylum quite literally, and all of the good guys, cops, warden and officers are the inmates now at that point. So it is interesting. It brings out some unsettling images and scenes like Batman screaming, or even this one scene. Well, not one scene, but like there's one moment you can catch in one of the Scarecrow nightmare sequences of Batman eating a dead rat. So yeah, it gets pretty weird. Another character I want to bring to the stand is Killer Croc. There's a section in the game where you have to collect these spores to counter the Titan serum, create an antidote. And you have to go down into the sewer where Killer Croc is, and you pretty much have to be as quiet as possible so that he doesn't snatch you up and eat you. Now there are moments in time where he'll like break the wood panels that you're walking on. So you have to run, so you're forced to run and be loud, or at times where he'll just pop up out of the water and run after you, and you have to throw a batarang to stop him. It brings out this great, immense tension, that leaves you kind of on your toes because of how frightening it is. Especially like if you play at night, and if you're like a little kid, it's gonna be genuinely terrifying. It even brings me chills at times for this. So yeah. But the other characters that I want to mention, Bane has a pretty minor role, essentially, at least a direct minor role, and he's pretty much just another Titan victim. He gets his Titan boost and he has a boss fight with Batman, and he tells Batman that Dr. Young, one of the doctors, was the one who who drained him of all of his venom to work on the Titan. Because it was revealed in the story that Dr. Young and Joker had been working together, but she hadn't known it was the Joker because he was using an alias. I think it was, I don't know what it was. I think it was Jack Napier. I don't know. One of his old aliases. But yeah, so yeah. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh yeah, Bane has the worst boss fight in this game. It's just another Titan boss fight with thugs, and even then, you get that like at the end of the game. So, okay. Anyways, then you have Poison Ivy on the stand. She is given Titan, and her plants, run rampant around the island, and that's the whole purpose as to why Batman needs antidote for the Titan, because he needs to move around and get rid of the plants and stuff like that. So yeah, she has a boss fight. Her boss fight is kind of lame, if I'm being honest. This game is pretty lame with boss fights. Like the killer, as I said, the more the boss fights you have that are the most interesting aren't the ones that are direct boss fights where it's just like step one, wait, step two, wait, step one, wait, step two, wait. It's just Yeah, the Killer Croc and Scarecrow stuff is pretty interesting. Also, Harley Quinn has her own section where she basically has this whole thing where you're on this solitary confinement, and you're on these three floors. You have these three floors that you can move around on, and occasionally she'll turn on one of the floors at the bottom, the electricity thing, shocking thing. I don't know what it's called, but it's supposed to be an electric floor that she has. That she's turning on that can also get rid of the thugs as well. But overall, after you beat that, it's wraps for her. She gets locked up, and she's gone for the rest of the story. Then you have the main man himself, the Joker. So yeah, Joker's whole thing is he's seen throughout the game. It's not like Joker is just this looming threat that's in the background. Like you see Joker like a couple times throughout the story in the physical. Like it's very few times, but most of the time you hear him. He's like talking, over the intercom, or he's on a TV screen talking to you, taunting you, making sure that you're exactly where he wants you. So it's Joker plays a fine villain in here. With the whole Titan thing, a lot of people hate the Joker Titan design because like it's freaky. I mean, I think I would like it a little more if he didn't have this stupid mohawk. If he didn't have this stupid green mohawk. But overall, I think it goes to show that maybe Joker went a little too far with the Titan, because this dude has his bones sticking out. Like he has his bones, like his nails overgrown. He has his spinal cord sticking out of his back. So it is pretty interesting. Batman defeats the Joker and saves the day. And yay, yay. The gameplay is not my favorite thing about it, if I'm being honest with you. The story's fine. The atmosphere is phenomenal because it feels like a horror game at times. You have these moments where like the Arkham Asylum inmates, not the Blackgate inmates, the thugs that you fight throughout the game. No, Arkham Asylum inmates. They're these crazy guys that walk around screaming at you, and like you have like just a quick moment to counter them, or they're gonna jump on your back and potentially kill you. So it's kind of funny. Well, not funny, but it's kind of interesting how they go on and add them in here, because there are moments where like they'll just pop up like from out of the grates or out of these present boxes that Joker hides throughout the game. Um, so yeah. Also forgot to mention the Riddler, who doesn't appear physically, but he is talking through you to you throughout the game. You have his Riddler trophies, and after you collect them all, the Riddler ends up getting arrested. But each of them unlocks like these different challenges, these combat or predator challenges, and I will say they're in every Arkham game. And sometimes they're a nightmare. Sometimes they're pretty easy. Like I prefer the Riddler trophies in Arkham Knight, but I hate doing the Riddler trophies in Arkham City. Now this one I feel more indifferent towards, because if I'm being honest with you, the Riddler trophies often come off as just inconvenience. Like you just find them while you're just accidentally navigating through somewhere, and is the Riddler just taunts you, and it's like, okay, bro, like really, okay, like I wasn't trying to find this, but all right, buddy. But speaking of navigating, I hate the navigating in this game. There's tight spaces, but everything is so intricately detailed that it's really easy to forget where you're going. Or even other times where like the main path is blocked off and you're not shown an alternate path, so you have to like either go around searching. You end up searching the island for like an hour or two, and then you give up and you're like, okay, I'll look on YouTube, and then you see it's the simplest thing you could have done. I still remember when I was trying to get into, I think it was Arkham Mansion. I did this playthrough a couple years ago, and I was playing it. I was trying to do an all nighter on this, and I got stuck at like 6 a.m. because I was trying to get to, I think it was Arkham Mansion. And Batman said that the main entrance was closed and that there must be another way around. So I'm thinking like, okay, maybe I just gotta go around to the back, or maybe go around on the roof or something like that. No, there's a thug on top of the building of where you can find the grate. You have to batarang him, line launcher, take down him, and then do that. And it's just like, really, really, wow. Wow, this makes the simplest solutions seem like the hardest things ever to do. And that's what I really hate about this game. The navigation just pisses you off. Well, pisses me off at least. Like there's no mini map either. Like this game would definitely benefit. In fact, I think all of the Arkham games would benefit from having a mini map. But Arkham City Origins, everything after City, everything after this game is fine because they have that little compass thing at the top that shows you where and their little waypoints and stuff like that too. But this game does not have that, so it makes it much more difficult to navigate, especially like if you're constantly flipping back and forth from the map, pressing select or whatever button, pressing select on the Xbox or PlayStation controllers. So yeah, overall, I do like the character designs as well. Everything stays pretty traditional to comic book characters. I like the voice acting. This game is, I would say, I'm pretty sure it's heavily influenced by the Batman Batman animated series from the early 90s with Kevin Conroy, rest in peace. Him voicing Batman, Mark Hamill voicing the Joker, and not Tara Strong. Let me look up her name. I know it's Arlene something, but she voices Harley Quinn as well. So rest in peace to her. But let me find out her name real quick. Okay, her name is Arlene Sorkin. So rest in peace to her. I do like her voice more than Tara Strong because her voice comes off as an actual human being, while Tara Strong's. Now, granted, I love Tara Strong as a voice actress, but yeah, it comes off like a cartoon character rather than a real person. Like and the thing is, like with Tara Strong, this isn't me complaining about her, but like whenever I hear her talk as Harley Quinn, I always just think of like Timmy Turner. That's like really all I could think of. Is like, wow, she sounds exactly like Timmy Turner. But anyways, Arkham Asylum, overrated game, but it's not bad. I don't think it's bad. When I tell you this, listen to the words that I'm saying. I don't think this game is bad. I think this game is fine for what it is. I think this game is good. I personally do not like it. I have my own personal gripes. Okay? I'm going to give this game a 6.5 out of 10. It would be at least a 7 if it wasn't for the crappy navigation. Okay? Got that? I think this is the worst in the series, but that does not mean that this is a bad game. I think it's a good start. I think it's a good game on its own thing. So, just take that what you will. Have a blessed day. I will see you tomorrow. Well, actually, I have a video uploading in the middle of the night. I think like 3:30. It's a Left 4 Dead 2 video that I did not previously referenced in many of my past videos. Also got a Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions video and a Mafia Old Country video that I, for some reason, keep forgetting to mention and, promote. So yeah, shout out to 130 subscribers. Let's just check the growth real quick, because right now I am at an insane week. I've grown 8 subscribers this week, which is insane for me. And like 7 of those came about in the span of like 2 days. So yeah, but anyways, have a blessed day. Jesus loves you. I'm out. Goodbye.